Hello, welcome. This is blockchainbloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Attila Pinke, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about that actually Bitcoin holds one of the lowest correlations to any other asset. And this is, a very interesting thing, because we have talked about Bitcoin recently that, it's correlated to gold, and correlated to the stock market, how it's moving with these together. But if you compare it to other assets, you actually realize that it has one of the lowest correlations to the other ones. So I think it's worth to talk about it. The second news will be about that the idea to make Malta a blockchain island is facing difficulties because the local banks are not supporting really this idea. And it would be very important to make it happen that the local banks also play along. So it's worth to talk about that as well. And the third news is about that Ross Ulbricht is considered for pardon by Donald Trump. And for those of you who don't know who is Ross Ulbricht, he is the founder of the Silk Road. This was this very famous website which made Bitcoin kind of, famous in a way that people used Bitcoin to buy drugs and so many illegal things on this website. And the administrator of this website and the founder of this website was Ross Ulbricht. So maybe he will be freed from prison, but it's not granted. This is just like a big maybe. Okay, so all this in today's video, and if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, but you're really interested in blockchain, in cryptocurrency, you would like to stay up to date basically, then you should subscribe, because I put these videos on YouTube every weekday. So from Monday to Friday, every day, you're getting the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news from blockchainbloom. And definitely after you subscribe, hit the notification bell and then all, and like the video so you show YouTube that you need crypto content. This is important for you because this support other YouTubers as well, and also this channel in general. Okay, and don't forget, you can educate yourself with us, as we have very nice courses. We have a totally free course, how to start to invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, right? The link is under this video. You can just learn from it. The second course we have is understanding Bitcoin and the blockchain. This is a paid course. However, you get the fundamentals from this course in 30 chapters. Therefore, you can learn a lot from it. And it's very important to get this knowledge before you even invest in Bitcoin. So you should know what is Bitcoin all about. And now let's check out the market. Okay, so let's refresh. And we can see that Bitcoin went up about 2% in the last 24 hours, right now at $19,493. And actually, huge jump now. Ethereum under $600, but it's still a 1% increase. When we looking at the top gainers, we have Ocean Protocol, and this is always the top 100, okay? This is 7% up, Cosmos 6% up, Horizon 5%. When we're looking at the losers, we can see XRP keep dropping, significantly. We can see it's going down, 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 down. We do know we had this kind of airdrop on the 12th of December. So people started to sell it off even before it. And now even more people selling it. We have Stellar, minus 3%, and Energy Web Token, minus 3%. And now move on to the first news. And this is about that Bitcoin holds one of the lowest correlations to any other asset. And I think it's worth to talk about it, because we always looking at Bitcoin, that to which one is it correlated? It's together moving with the stock market, it's moving together with gold, now it's doing it, now it's not. And This kind of analysis here is made by Messari. They do all these great things. And you can see here Bitcoin and all the other assets. So there you have Bitcoin, gold, global bond, you have S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, DAX index, you name it, basically the big ones, nickel, UK 100 index, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the ones here. And the number at the bottom shows how much that asset, so in this case here, Bitcoin, is correlated in average with other assets. And you can see that Bitcoin has this 0.37 number. And the lower the number is, the less it is correlated. The higher the number is, it's even more correlated. And yes, I just wanted to... Okay, so let's pick the ones Bitcoin is the most correlated. The number one here with 0.59 is S&P 500. And we have talked about it so much that when S&P 500, there was the crash in March and it went down, straight down. Crypto, Bitcoin, but this case we're talking about Bitcoin, went down with it. But also we had months, now in October, November, when not too much happened on S&P 500. It went even negative, while Bitcoin was, going up and up and up and did very, very well. So it's not always the case that Bitcoin is correlated to the stock market, to S&P 500. The second one in this line here is Nasdaq, obviously. So basically still stock market. When you get gold, it's 0.5. And yes, well, we have all these other asset classes here. But it's interesting to point out, when we looking at and how much are they correlated to each other in average, then the lowest number will be Bitcoin, as you can see, 0.37 out of all. And, you can find the same, which is here, above here, and there you can see the comparison. So it's very, very interesting. Let's see how gold. Gold is mostly correlated with global bonds, commodities, Nasdaq, also very interesting. Yeah, S&P 500, but much more than Bitcoin is correlated to these things. Look, to global bonds, Bitcoin is like 0.39, gold is like 0.88. So when we're looking at Bitcoin and gold like safe haven, they perform totally differently in many, many cases. So I think it was an interesting perspective to look at. Okay, let's move on to the second news, and which is all about that Malta blockchain island strategy falters as banks refuse to play ball. But they don't even play it, yeah. So Malta's finance and employment minister, Clyde Caruana, has revealed that the nation's plan to become blockchain's island is floundering due to the unwillingness of local banks to work with innovative firms. So interesting that, they had this idea that, okay, let's bring crypto to Malta. And definitely this could be an income for Malta, no question. But then it looks like that the local banks don't really welcome the idea. And you basically need the banks to support it, because if they doing also crypto service and all these things, then it will more attract people to Malta who is doing crypto. Okay, the banks must be convinced that this is something that can really happen. Unless banks are on board, it will be very difficult. So without banks, they're saying it will be extremely difficult. Malta's parliament passed blockchain-friendly regulations in 2018, right? As part of its bid to emerge as a global hub for crypto and DLT. And with the island quickly becoming home offices of the world's then largest crypto exchanges by volume, such like Binance and OKX. But then, however, the registration of former Maltese Prime Minister Joseph Muscat in February, basically, he said that Malta Financial Services authorities had not issued a license to single crypto firm. So, that was back here in 2018, and then now saying the opposite in 2020. Although, in November now, a debit card provider and exchange platform Crypto.com became the first company to receive licensing from Malta's local financial regulator on the 24th of November, so not long ago. So things do happening on Malta. However, it looks like that the local banks are not supporting the idea as much other people want it. And, this idea, the blockchain island, it may suspend now for a while because they really need the banks to play along. Otherwise, it's doable, but it will be very, very difficult. So we'll see how it works out. But this is how it looks like so far. And the third news I wanted to talk about is about Ross Ulbricht. And this is the guy who was behind the famous Silk Road. And Silk Road was the website which, supported this kind of black market. And it happened in a way that Ross started this website basically selling drugs, but we're talking about weed here, right? And he just started in a small room, grow weed, and then, the business grow, not just the weed. And more people found the website, and there were other requests, and then they started to sell things like other drugs, and they started to grow. And the reason why it's connected to cryptocurrency is that the Bitcoin became the money on Silk Road. And this is, we're talking about back here in, 2011, right? So kind of early days of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has started, in 2009, in January. And this is about 2011. So in early days of Bitcoin when this is happening. And it took about 2 years that they could catch Ross. Basically, they caught him in a library. They knew for a while that he's behind it. Ross didn't know anything about it, but they needed the proof. So basically, they had to catch him in a way that he's logged in with his computer on the administrator page of Silk Road. So there's a proof that really he is the one they're looking for. And he was charged with so many things. So here, after long investigation, Ulbricht's online identity, Dread Pirate Roberts, so this is what he took on, because, if you know the story, then the Dread Pirate Roberts, this is Roberts because there are multiple of them. If one, disappeared, another just continued with that name. Was relieved, and he was subsequently arrested, charged, and convicted for money laundering, computer fraud, and various drug charges. He is currently serving a double life sentence plus 40 years without chance of parole. It's crazy, these charges, when you think about it. You get a double life sentence and you get plus 40 years. At the first place, how you can get out with double life sentence anyway. So no chance that he will leave prison in his lifetime. So basically, he's there forever. But, you know, he many times said that it's too harsh. Actually, what he has started, it was, you know, it's a kind of, well, put it this way, innocent idea. But it grew, a big thing grew out of it. And if you're interested in the story, I would recommend you the American Kingpin, the epic hunt for the criminal mastermind behind the Silk Road. I read this book and I quite enjoyed it, and I got a lot of information about Ross Ulbricht and how he managed this whole system. And then when you read this book, you understand how basically just things grow out of his hand. It was nothing to. It wasn't like a guy who came up with this very evil idea to do that. And what it turned out, it happened. Things happened after each other, and then he was just in a crazy situation. They're making a movie about it, as far as I know, and it's coming out next year, maybe in the first quarter of next year. But not sure. You know how it goes with movies. So yes, and now Donald Trump, it's considering the idea that maybe pardon him because he's now in the prison for a while. He actually hasn't killed anyone. However, in the book you can read that he sent a hitman after someone, but that hitman didn't do the job, so it didn't actually happen. But of course he said it. So yeah. It's not that I support him. Don't get me wrong here, right? Don't get me wrong, please. It's just all about that. How interesting the story is interesting. It's fascinating if you read the book when it grew out of nothing, and he became this very bad criminal guy, like one of the worst guys, getting double life sentence plus 40 years. Whatever he did, it wasn't actually maybe that bad. And maybe this is the reason why Donald Trump is considering it. But we will see how this story develops. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for watching. That's it for today. If you like this content, hit the like button, and also with hitting the like button, you can actually show YouTube that this kind of crypto content is important for you, and this is key. And also subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're interested in crypto and blockchain, and you would like to stay up to date every weekday. So from Monday to Friday, every day you're getting the freshest news from Blockchain Bloom. Tomorrow I'm coming back with the latest crypto and blockchain news. I wish you a great day. Have a good one. Bye bye.